One of the key ways that you can be more successful as a coach is by being authentic. And I know #authentic, but this is from research by the American Psychological Association around what makes a good coach. And that connection is so key. The thing is that when we start, and I know when I started as a coach, all I was doing is looking around at other people and thinking, I'm going to emulate them. And when I started, which is over a decade ago now, when I first came on social media, all I saw were American, very beautiful, generally blonde, not sure why, women wearing designer clothes and sipping champagne. Looked fantastic. I was at the time, had a young child. I was definitely not American. I was working full time. And although I like champagne, it wasn't really part of my lifestyle. I think I was living the suburban mum lifestyle rather than the influencer lifestyle. And to be honest, nothing has really changed there. When I was looking at these, I was really thinking, like, how do I fit in? Okay, I know I need to be like this. And even if you look back at my old videos, you can see I wasn't really sure about how to show up. So I was putting on a mask. I wasn't really being me because I didn't really know what was expected of me. It was a new domain. I was seeing all of these things. I wasn't even on social media before I became a coach. Actually, that authenticity, the more that I was able to understand myself, my strengths, and actually accept who I was, as Jung would say, the shadow side and the other side, the more I connected with people. And the more I connected with people, the more I built effective relationships. I got clients, I got referrals. So it came down to actually knowing myself. And I'd say that coach training is great for this because it is that initial, you go through things that you don't always. But also it's about being discerning. Now, I think that we are overloaded. We have podcasts, we have YouTube, we have books, and we often read something and think that's great. And we then take it as gospel. And so we'll start to do what other people do because we discount our own experience. We discount what our body and brain are telling us because we think other people are more experts. But one of the things about coaching is you are the expert in your life. And I remember a client years ago saying to me, I've got all of these books around my house. I've got thousands of books in my house, but I've also got all these journals that I've written. Why do I always look at other people's books before I look at what I've written, before I reflect on what I think and feel? And it's a great reminder that actually going inward, knowing who we are and showing up unapologetically like that is really, really key. I've spoken to lots of coaches and people say like you need to be really out there to be successful. No, you don't. Or I can't share my opinion because that will impact my clients thinking how I will be non-judgmental. And I'd say you can share who you are without having to share all of your opinions. Because actually, maybe our opinions don't matter. Maybe we're sharing about our values. Maybe we're sharing about what we know. Maybe we're sharing about who we are to connect rather than having to always have an opinion on everything. Because it's right, as a coach, our job is to be non-judgmental for people. So sometimes being authentic is about knowing who you are, but not having to always tell everyone. It's about showing your values, but not having to be explicit. It's about actually being honest with yourself and with others and being okay to say, actually, you aren't the right person to work with, or this relationship is no longer working. It's about having integrity. It's about showing up as you. And I think it's an interesting one, isn't it, when we're thinking about AI? Actually, when we're using AI or having like AI photos or videos, being honest about that. People are like, oh, is it authentic to have hair and makeup done when you don't normally? I'm like, yeah, because if you were going out or to an event, you would. So again, we need to think about relating to others by relating to ourselves first. We need to think about knowing ourselves and our values, thinking about our own unique approach and style. And what I love is that ICF, the International Coaching Federation, have updated their competencies in 2025 and has talked about having your own unique style and being able to express that. And I think that is part of being authentic, building trust and safety, building relatedness. Because when we have those genuine connections, it's actually much better for people's brains. Instead of thinking, I need to be like everyone else, start to lean into, who am I? How do I want to communicate? How do I build relationships? What are my strengths? What are my values? And use that as a starting point. The more that you will be you, the more you're going to build relationships, the more, I know it's cheesy, the more magnetic you'll be. The more that you're thinking you have to be like somebody else, the more it's going to feel hard and arduous and like wearing a mask. So really think about, how authentic am I being? And what are those edges? And what are those places that maybe I don't want to share? And also knowing that it's okay to not share everything. It's okay to keep some things private. We do that in our friendships. So why do we think we have to bare our souls to be authentic? We don't. We just have to show up consistently, congruent with our values, and build relationships that are meaningful. It makes it all so much more fun too.